For all you MLP fans, remember watching that first episode and how it slowly diffused all your cynicism?
Urge to kill, fading.
How bright and funny it was.
Fading.
How it was actually engaging.
Fading.
How adorable and innocent Luna looked the first time you saw her.
Rising?
The episode Luna Eclipsed shows the ponies celebrating their own version of Halloween. And I gotta say, one of the highlights of this episode is seeing Ponyville go all out for this celebration. They got amazing decorations, great costumes, rides, and games, and the creepiest thing anyone can see on Halloween, another romantic couple dressing up as a famous brother-sister duo. This episode also marks the return of Luna, and I knew there was going to be changes, especially after Faust stepped back from production. But this episode did little to cushion the impact.
Thou ungrateful whelp!
Basically what happens is, Luna shows up and everyone freaks out. Why? Well, for the last 1,000 years, the ponies have been using Nightmare Moon as the centerpiece for their celebration. It's the reason they wear costumes and collect candy.
Hungrily she soars the sky. If she sees no pony, she passes by.
If we wear costumes to hide from Nightmare Moon so she won't gobble us up, how come we still need to give her some of our candy?
A perfect question, my little friend. For Nightmare Moon, you must not offend. Fill up her belly with a treat or two, so she won't return to come eat you!
Everyone, let's dump some candy and get out of here!
You know, as mean-spirited as it seems for Celestia, the sister who had to banish Luna after she turned evil, to just let these rumors spread, I actually think it might have been necessary. I could see Celestia saying, okay, I need to keep the legend of my sister alive, so eventually someone can reconnect with the elements, because if no one does, then we're all bucked in 1,000 years. But I can't be blatant about it, because I live in a city of snotty glory hound squatters that will dedicate generations to raising an overprivileged, self-absorbed descendant that will most likely completely miss the point about what makes harmony so harmonious. So I have to leave enough clues so that someone with just the right combination of pureness of heart and obsessive-compulsive tendencies will figure it out. But over the centuries, the story slowly changed from an embittered sister who abused her power because she thought she wasn't getting enough credit to a demonic cannibal spirit of the night.
Nonsense. Gibberish. Ridiculous. Somewhat true.
And Celestia was all like, ooh, this is getting out of hoof. Oh well, I'm sure I'll be able to straighten all this out later. Unless I don't. Again, I kind of like the way this played out. It ties back to what Spike first said about Nightmare Moon.
Mirroring the moon? But that's just an old pony's tale.
What I don't get is how no one had the foresight to consider that the person that this holiday is based on is back and not evil anymore. Does anyone else think that this might be awkward? That's like having Thanksgiving with your family. And every year your grandma always has to tell the story about when you were 4 and you knocked her grandma's antique gravy boat to the floor. Times 1,000,000. Because, you know, the gravy boat in this case is actually the planet. Or maybe they don't know any better. Despite celebrating her return, the ponies are terrified when they see her. Of course, people say that's because she looks different, which begs the question, why does she look different? Faust herself explained that it was some sort of magical change she went through after being released from her corrupt digivolution or something. But then she admitted that she completely made that up. Of course, all this is just nitpicking, right? Wait for it.
It was thou who unleashed the powers of harmony upon us and took away our dark powers!
And that was a good thing, right?
But of course, we could not be happier. Is that not clear?
Who are these people? The shouting is a temporary side effect of the unfreezing process.
Yes, I'm having difficulty controlling
The volume of my voice!
Well, you kind of sound like you're yelling at me.
But this is the traditional royal Canterlot voice. It is tradition to speak using the royal we, and to use this much volume when addressing
Okay, so she's been around for a year, and no one has told her it's not cool to yell at people? Not even her sister, apparently, who should have been the first person to say, things have changed, and we need to acclimate you to modern society.
It's not hard.
No one told me anything.
No one tells you anything! To my knowledge, I'm the only person who talks to you. You're like the Ralph Wiggum of real life. Turn around for 2 seconds, catch eating glue and crayons.
You know, this is getting a little too personal.
How did she even find out about Nightmare Night? Were the Gree Grumps a-growlin'? Of course, Twilight is the only one that realizes that Luna just wants to get in on the celebration. Of course, she's the only one that realizes Luna is Luna.
Fluttershy, it's me, Twilight.
It is you. Oh, Nightmare Moon.
Nightmare Moon?
She doesn't even look like... And we see as she tries to help Luna fit in.
Fit in? Really? I mean, that's easy. All you gotta do is have the right attitude. Loosen up a bit, be positive, play a few games, have some fun. Fun? What is this fun thou speakest of?
We really went there, didn't we?
Ha! Your princess enjoys this fun.
Luna acts like Twilight in episode 1 if G4 had turned out to be as subtle as G3.
Ha-ha! The fun has been doubled!
The only problem is Pinkie Pie, who's been trick-or-treating all night with a group of kids, has been sending said kids into a panic every time she spots Luna, who, of course, is always in a comedically unfortunate situation. This is actually a really clever Chicken Little reference that I don't think anyone has ever mentioned up until now. Poetically, the one character that's been causing the problem for most of the episode is also the one that proposes the solution.
So why do you keep running away and screaming? Sometimes it's just really fun to be scared. Fun? Pinkie Pie, you're a genius. No, I'm not. I'm a chicken.
So Luna actually scares the kids, and they all love her for it.
But do you suppose maybe you could come back next year and scare us again anyway?
Child, art thou saying that thou likest me to scare you?
It's really fun. Scary, but fun.
We shall have to bring Nightmare Night back!
Whoa! You're my favorite princess ever!
I really don't know how to feel about this particular episode. I'm disappointed about what the episode is about, but I love everything that surrounds it. The story's good enough. Of course, when they advertised the episode, they specifically said that it would be the return of Nightmare Moon. Then when I saw this billboard they put up to advertise the episode in Season 2, I imagined in my head it would be like Nightmare Moon shows up and terrifies the whole town, and then slowly drags each pony away. Then it becomes a race to get back to the elements of harmony. But at the end of the episode, it turns out that they were all at some big party at Canterlot, and that Nightmare Night is really a hide-and-seek holiday, where the last pony to get caught by Luna gets a grand prize or something. And the reason no one knew this was going on was because this was the first Nightmare Night in 1,000 years. I think the execution of that would actually be a genuinely creepy concept. But this is good too. Man, this episode has got to be my favorite visually. This has got some of the best atmosphere of all the episodes, and you can really contribute that to Zekora's storytelling scene and Luna's grand entrance. And just looking at all the detail they put into the decorations and all the different pony costumes. Rainbow Dash as a Shadow Bolt is, well,
so awesome!
Some of the jokes in this episode were a bit hit or miss with me. I hated the royal speaking voice, and I guess I might be in the minority on that one. No, most of the laughs come from the visual and background gags. Check out this Jaws reference. Of course, I should point out that the biggest laugh I got was from that billboard. I gotta say, even though this is not how I imagined Luna's return, I felt bad for her when all she wanted was to fit in. It's even worse considering that her alienation was the exact reason she turned evil in the first place. But I can't help but feel that this whole situation was a little manufactured, since again, it doesn't explain how she didn't learn how to talk within a year, or why the townies would be afraid of her when they hung freaking roses around her neck. There's also a character named Pipsqueak, or Pip, who's supposed to be an analog for the audience.
Pipsqueak the pirate, at your deserve it. It's my very first nightmare night.
And I gotta say, I do enjoy his enthusiasm for the holiday. So I think it's a real good idea that they added him. You know, I actually like the lesson presented in this episode. It kind of reminds me of the first time they all met Zecora and had the same exact thing happen. I like the fact that you have the end result of the first time the ponies had to learn this lesson staring them in the face the whole time.
Maybe next time you will take a second look and not judge the cover of the book.
Nah.
Moving on. Well, I like the fact that they addressed Zecora, the Shadow Bolts, the fact that this would probably be Fluttershy's least favorite holiday.
Go away! No candy here! Visitors not welcome on Nightmare Night!
Luna changing from Season 1 to Season 2 was a nitpick, and one that I was expecting. But I can't understand how she went an entire year without picking up on speech patterns or modern lifestyles. Unless this happened right after she was first let free. But even that doesn't work because the townies wouldn't have a reason to be afraid of her since they saw her. No, this was supposed to be a reintroduction of a character we all wanted to see more of, and it just got muddled. And what the hell are these? All in all, it's an okay episode. Not one I tend to revisit a lot. I like it more for its visuals than I do anything else. But I think it was a nice, gentle way of letting me know that there might be some more surprises ahead.
My big brother, best friend.
Urge to kill rising.
Yeah, you know what? I think I like this year's Halloween special a lot more.
Kablam!